Good day, everyone. So for this morning, let's have another topic. So I have here the learning objectives. At the end of the lessons, you will be able to differentiate language used in academic texts from various disciplines, explain the specific ideas contained in various academic texts. All right. Okay. So before that, I want you to have this. Okay. I want you to answer this activity. Okay. In a half sheet of paper. Okay, read the passage below, then identify whether each passage can be an academic text or a non-academic text. Write A if it's an academic and N if it's non-academic. All right. Sige. And another activity, read and answer the questions below. Write your answers on a separated sheet. Okay. What is the easiest writing assignment you have done so far? How about the most difficult writing assignment you have done? Based on your answer, what do you think is academic writing and its differences from other kinds of writing? So you're going to do this as well in a half sheet of paper. So kahit at the back portion na rin, pwede naman. Okay, so first, nature and characteristics of an academic text. An academic text is a written language that provides informations which contain ideas and concepts that are related to the particular discipline. It could be an essay, research paper, report, project, article, thesis, and dissertation are considered as academic text. Okay, so from the word itself, academic text. So lahat ng ginagawa nyo sa school, mga pinapagawa ng teachers nyo, okay, mapa-essay man yan, mapa-report, whatever it is, no, related to writing that is considered as an academic text. Okay. Structure. The basic structure that is used by an academic text is consists of three parts, which is, so it's the basic, no, lagi-lagi naman to, the introduction, the body, and conclusion, which is formal and logical. This kind of structure enables the reader to follow the argument and navigate the text. In academic writing, a clear structure and a logical flow are important to a cohesive text. Okay, sige. So, sa structure, palaging may introduction, body, and conclusion. That's the basic component, no? Okay. So, tone, this refers to the attitude conveyed in a piece of writing. The arguments of authors are fairly presented and with an appropriate narrative tone. When presenting a position or argument that disagrees with one's perspectives, describe the argument accurately without loaded or biased language. Okay. So, we have to be careful with the language to be used, no? Dapat ma-avoid natin tong biases, no? Okay, so nakadepende sa iyo as an author, no, or as a writer, no? Choose the best language to be used, no? Na dapat hindi tayo magiging bias to the readers. Okay, language. It is important to use unambiguous language. Clear topic sentences enables a reader to follow your line of thinking without difficulty. Formal language in the third person point of view should be used. Technical language appropriate to aerial study may also be used. However, it does not mean using big words just for the sake of doing so, no? So when it comes to language, sabi, avoid. It is important to use unambiguous. Yung hindi dapat magulo, meaning to say, dapat klaro, no? Malinaw ang language na gagamitin natin. Or, hindi tayo gagamit ng mga language na, for example, your intended readers are, for example, ang mga intended readers mo ay mga bata, no? So, avoid natin yung mga big words or mga complicated words, no? Ang gagamitin natin na words, of course, that is applicable or understandable by the target readers that you have, no? Kasi if that, so parang, ay, gusto ko lang magpabida ako, ganito, gawin ko, ganito, gusto ko ito, ganito. Eh, hindi naman naintindihan ng target audience nyo or target readers nyo. So, what's the point, no? Okay. Citation, citing sources in the body of the paper and providing a list of references as either footnotes or endnotes is a very important aspect of an academic text. It is essential to always acknowledge the source of any ideas, research findings, data, or quoted texts that have been used in a paper as a defense against allegations of plagiarism. So for you not to be charged of plagiarism, just make sure to cite the sources or the references kung saan nyo nakuha yan, sino yung mga taong nagsasabi niyan. For example, in your research, no? Especially, you have your research, no? May nakita kayong mga notes or mga quotations na alam niyong that is applicable to your research or to your study, no? What you have to do is, it's okay if you want to write it or if you want to include it in your research, it's all right, but don't forget to, of course, cite the sources, no? Cite the references, kung sino nagsabi nun, kung saan site niyo nakita. If not, you will be charged of plagiarism. So we have to be careful with that, no? Complexity. An academic text addresses complex issues that require higher order thinking skills to comprehend. Okay, that's why complexity. So it means it simply means syempre kapag complex na yung ideas, complex yung issues, it requires of course higher order thinking skills. So to think deeply, no? Kailangan nating isipan pa, to think thoroughly, no? Kasi complex nga yung mga issues, no? Okay. Evidence-based arguments. What is valued in an academic text is that opinions are based on a sound understanding of the pertinent body of knowledge and academic debates that exist within and often external to a specific discipline. Okay. Evidence-based, of course, it should be based on facts, no? Factual dapat ang mga information na ini-imply natin. Okay, by doing that, okay, you need to provide evidence, no? Evidence-based arguments dapat tayo. Next, this is driven. The starting point of an academic text is a particular perspective, idea, or position applied to the chosen research problem, such as establishing, proving, or disproving solutions to the questions posed for the topic. So this is driven, okay? Okay, so dapat sabi, starting point of an academic text, okay? Your perspective, your ideas or position applied to a chosen problem. So, iba-iba naman tayo ng perspective, iba-iba naman tayo ng ideas, but of course, see to it na dapat ano tayo dito, hindi tayo bias, no? Dapat kaya nating patunayan kung ano yung ini-imply nyo for that particular topic or for that particular argument, no? Next, okay, features of academic text. First one, we have complex. Written language has no longer words. It is lexically more varied vocabulary. Written texts are shorter and the language has more grammatical complexity, including more subordinate clauses and more passives. Okay. Next, we have formal, should avoid colloquial words and expressions. So that's why formal, no? Siyempre, avoid natin yun, mga jargons, yung mga pinauso nyo ngayon na mga words na pinaiksi nyo na words, no? Avoid natin yan. We use the standard form of language, no? Kasi formal nga siya. Academic text is a formal writing. So therefore, formal words din ang gagamitin natin. Or in other words, standard. Okay? Standard-based na mga languages ang gagamitin natin. Next, precise facts are given accurately and precisely. O, diba? So, dapat tama, no? Kaya nga, diba? Based on facts, evidence-based, no? Thesis-driven, those things, no? Objective has fewer words that emphasize on the information you want to give and the arguments you want to make. Mostly use nouns, adjectives rather than verbs and adverbs. So, in an academic text, dapat magiging objective tayo. So, avoid natin ang pagiging subjective. So, in that way, anong kailangan natin gawin? Careful tayo with the language to be used, with the words, no? So, avoid natin yung I and we, kasi kapag I and we, so doon pa lang sa paggamit ng pronoun na yun, you are being subjective na, no? So, dapat avoid natin yung mga ganon. Okay? Next one, explicit. It is responsibility of the writer in English to make it clear to the reader how the various part of the text are related. So as a writer, of course, it's your responsibility, no, na see to it that the readers would understand, would relate to the text that you are doing or to the composition that you have. Na dapat yun ang pinaka-ultimate goal natin na sana maunawaan ng mga readers, no? Na ma-intended or yung target audience readers nyo. So, dapat maunawaan. Okay? Next one, accurate uses of vocabulary accurately. Most subjects have words with narrow specific meaning. So dapat ang gamitin natin ng word standard use, standard-based na language to be used, no? Kasi hindi lahat ng words ay for example, 'di ba? I really hate that those people na pag tinabing anong English ng ganito, no? So I remember when I was in high school, some of my classmates would tend to ask me these questions. Anong English ng ganito? Anong English ng ganyan, ganyan, ganyan? And sometimes I really bothered with them, no? Nababother ako to think na minsan tinatanong ko, paano niyo ba gagamitin in a sentence? 'Di ba? Because it's not only that you know the English words of that, because there are words nga that are nor specific meanings or ano pang gamit ng mga synonymous words kung hindi natin gagamitin yun, no? So, hindi lang naman ibig sabihin na ang English na ganito ay yun na yun, no? So, there are certain words, there are appropriate words to be used. That's why dapat careful tayo doon. Next one, hedging. It is necessary to make decisions about your stance in a particular subject or strength of the claims you are making. So it's like, so pag sinabi naman nating hedging, it's simply being cautious with the words or with the language to be used. Yun lang naman yan, okay? Next one, responsible, you must be responsible for and must be able to avoid evidence and justification, to provide evidence and justification for any claims you make. Of course, no? That's why based on facts, no? You are going to justify. Kaya mong i-justify. Kaya mong patunayan by providing evidences, no? Next one, organize. Well-organized. So, the well-organized dapat, no? So, di ba? Sa basic structure pa lang, hindi pwedeng mauna yung conclusion, di ba? So, it should be introduction, body, and conclusion. In that way, organize siya. It follows easily from one section to the next in a logical fashion, no? Next one, well-planned or planned, no? It usually takes place after research and evaluation according to specific purpose and plan. So in every writing that we have, lagi namang sina-apply natin tong pagpaplano, no? Kasi if wala tayong pagpaplano, so anong mangyayari, no? So dapat pinaplano natin, no? Should be well planned. Okay, so I have here the purposes in reading an academic text. Okay, first one, to locate main idea, to scan for information. Next, to identify gaps between existing studies or identifying gaps in existing studies. So, next, to connect ideas to existing ones. So, yun naman ang purpose niya, no? So, that's why nag-aaral kayo, no? Kung ano yung natutunan nyo ngayon, kung madadagdagan nyo yan, maiko-connect nyo yung what you learn from now, what you have right now, you're going to connect it with the ideas or with the lesson that you may learn today, no? Parang ganun. What you learned in the previous years, so i-connect nyo lang yan, madadagdagan, i-relate nyo lang yan doon. To gain more pieces of information, to support a particular writing assignment, and to deeply understand an existing idea. So that's the main purpose of reading an academic text. Kaya kayo nag-aaral, no? Lahat ng yan ginagawa nyo. Lahat ng yan yung purpose kaya kayo nag-aaral, no? All right. Factors to consider in writing academic text: state critical questions and issues, provide facts and evidence from credible sources. So, dapat credible ang sources natin, ha? Use precise and accurate words while avoiding jargon. Take an objective point of view. List references and use cautious language. So, these are the factors to consider when you are writing your academic text. No? Paulit-ulit naman na yan, no? Okay. So academic language is the language needed by students to do work in schools. It includes, for example, discipline-specific vocabulary, grammar and punctuation, and applications of rhetorical conventions and devices that are typically for a content area. Example, essays, lab reports, discussion of a controversial issue. Students who master academic language are more likely to be successful in academic and professional setting. Okay, do you agree with this? No? Okay, so parang ganito lang yan. If you are fond of reading, so therefore marami kang natutunan. Marami kang nalalaman kahit papaano, okay? So, hindi ka mahirapan kapag magagawa ka ng essay or whatsoever na pinapagawa. Pero kapag ikaw yung tamad magbasa, ayaw mo magbasa, so hirap ka, no? So, ang tendency, parang tamarin ka na rin mag-aral. Ko na mag-aaral, parang hindi ko naman naiintindihan, hindi naman talaga pumapasok sa utak ko, yung mga ganon, no? Pero kung kayo yung may tiyaga, kahit sabihin natin hindi kayo kagalingan, but then may tiyaga naman kayo na, ay, kailangan ko itong unawain, kailangan ko itong mamaster, kailangan ko itong intindihin, those things, no? So, kapag marami kayong for example, parang ano lang yan, okay? Ako naman talaga, dati talagang I'm fond of reading talaga ako. Mahilig ako during my free time, so I tend to read, no? Yun talagang ginagawa ko. But when as time goes by, no? Yung sobrang busy ka na, hindi mo na nagagawa. But I'm still grateful na during those early years of my life na ah, I prefer to read and read and read a lot, no? In that way, nung mga time na sobrang busy ko na at hindi na ako masyadong nakakapag-focus, so hindi pa rin ako nahirapan kasi somehow nandun na yung tinatawag na foundation, no? My fundamental skills ka na. So in that way, hindi dumating man sa punto when I was in college, sobrang busy na ako. But then, the thing is, hindi pa rin ako ganun kahirap kasi nga, I already have the foundation, the fundamental skills na kailangan, no? So in that way, nagagamit ko rin siya, no? So sana kayo rin, no? Find time in reading. Kayo rin naman ang magkikinabang ng lahat ng yon, no? Alright. Next one, social language is a set of vocabulary that allows us to communicate with others in context of regular daily conversations. From the word itself, social language, no? Day-to-day living or day-to-day conversation, yung araw-araw na ginagawa niyo, pag bumibili kayo, namamasahe kayo, pagising niyo sa umaga, those things. So, social language. Okay, so I have here, okay, here are some of the differences between social and academic language. Okay, in social language, everyday interaction, whether it is in spoken or written. While in academics, in textbooks, research papers, conferences, in spoken and written form pa din. While for social, everyday conversation, academic, used in schoolwork conversations. In social, used to write to friends, family, or for other social purposes. While for academic, appropriate for written papers, classwork, or homework. Or for social, informal, such as words like cool, guy, kidding. So these words are applicable or okay lang siyang gamitan when it comes to social languages, no? Well, in academic, bawal yun, no? Very formal and more sophisticated in its expression, such as the words like appropriate, studies, implementation. Can use slang expressions in social. Well, in academic, don't use slang, no? Avoid slang. In social can be repetitive, while in academic, use a variety of terms. So, okay lang kahit paulit-ulit, no? In social language. Kasi nga, day-to-day, ano lang naman yan, conversation, pakikipag-interact to one another. Well, in academic text, bawal because there is such thing as redundancy. So, you can use a variety of terms para maiwasan na rin yung pagiging redundant, no? Can use phrases, pwedeng phrases kapag social language or for academic, use sentences, no? In social language, sentences don't follow grammar conventions necessarily with phrases like you're hungry. Okay, kasi napansin niyo yung word na you're hungry dyan, no? So pinagdikit mo, pinagsama mo yung word na you at saka are with the help with the apostrophe, no? Kaya naging you're hungry. So kapag sa academic yan, as much as possible, hindi pwedeng gumagamit tayo ng contraction. So, you are hungry, ganon dapat yan. So, pero pag sa social language, pwede lang you're hungry, no? Sentences begin with appropriate transitions like moreover or in addition. All right. Next one. Okay, informal characteristics of academic language. So we have formal. It should not sound conversational or casual. Colloquial, idiomatic slang, or journalistic expression should particularly be avoided. So examples: use consider, monitor instead of look at, go over, or fix. So, gamitin natin. Ito yung mga word na gagamitin natin. So, consider, monitor, revise, review, solve, repair, amend. Instead of this word, look at, go over, or fix. No? Ganon. So, you see the difference between the two, no? So, formal and informal dito, informal language to. Ito, formal. Objective, this means it is unbiased. It should not be based on it should be based on facts and evidence, are not influenced by personal feelings. Okay, because if it's influenced by your own personal feelings, so therefore you are being subjective. Next, impersonal. This involves avoiding the personal pronouns I and we. For example, instead of writing I will show, so instead of itong gamitin mo, you might write this report will show. So, 'di ba? Careful tayo sa ganon. The second person you is also to be avoided. Next one. Okay, so you're going to do this activity, write true if the statement is correct and false if it's not. Okay, you just have to write the answer only. Write the answer only lang. Okay, so 1/4 lang to, pwede na yan, no? Okay, next one. Okay, this what I have learned activity after going through with the lesson. You're going to fill out the information needed in here. An academic text is a reading material that provides information which include concepts and theories that are related to the specific discipline. Common text includes introduction, body, and conclusion. On one hand, students who master academic language are more likely to be successful in academics and professional settings. So you just have to comply or to fill out the information needed. What I want to say about the lesson, what I found out. So those things. So kaya nga what I have learned. So it's just in a one half sheet of paper. Do this in a one half sheet of paper, ha? And another thing, using the Venn diagram, compare and contrast the characteristics of an academic text from non-academic text. So kapag ganito class, okay, you have to write all the things, all the information that pertains to academic text on this side, but you will not go through with this, okay? Dapat hindi kayo lalagpas dito sa side na to. Another thing for non-academic text, dito nyo naman ilagay, no? And for their similarities, dito nyo ilalagay sa gitna, okay? Dito sa nag-overlap na circles, no? Okay? So I hope it's clear, okay? And you do this in a one half sheet of paper. Okay, so that will be all. So I hope that you learned something from our discussion for this morning. And goodbye, everyone, and God bless you all.